Good morning. Ready to hang out for the next 12 years? I honestly just wanted my schedule through Christmas, but a dozen years is fine with me to know what's going on through 2027. Welcome, everybody, to a great day for Rogers, a great day for the National Hockey League, and a great day for hockey fans in Canada. It's been a long road to this process to get to this point, and we are very, very excited to be your home of the National Hockey League for the next 12 years. I'm Darren Millard, host of Hockey Central. It's my pleasure to introduce Nadir Mohamed, President and CEO of Rogers Communications. Commissioner of the National Hockey League, Gary Bettman. And President of Rogers Media, Keith Pelley. You guys look good beside that trophy.
And I didn't get booed.
No chance of that today. To the assembled media, we will be holding a Q&A session in just a little bit, but first the formal remarks. And, well, the man that did the deal, from the National Hockey League standpoint, Commissioner Gary Bettman, or as I refer to him now, my new BFF, Mr. Bettman.
Thank you, Darren, and good morning to everyone. I'm obviously delighted to be here at the Rogers campus. I want to start by thanking Nadir Mohamed, Pelley, Scott, of course, Edward Rogers and the Rogers family, because without all of your efforts, we wouldn't be assembled here today. From the NHL team, I cannot thank enough Bill Daly, John Collins, David Proper, and Steve McCardle. The latter two names you don't hear as frequently as the first two names, but this was clearly a team effort. I also want to acknowledge Hubert Lacroix, who's here, and from the CBC, and Robert Dipati, who's here from TVA. So thank you all for being here. Again, as I said, without everybody's efforts, we wouldn't be making this announcement. This is a special day, but for another reason that people may not be focused on. Today is the 96th birthday of the National Hockey League, founded on November 26, 1917. So I think in addition to everything else, the fact that we're making the announcement of a new landmark agreement on the day that the NHL is 96 is rather more than a coincidence, perhaps. This new landmark agreement has granted all national NHL Canadian media rights to Rogers. More games, every platform in this digital technology-driven age. We think this deal is historic and forward-looking. It is a partnership to grow the game, to build and promote the brand, and to promote our players more than ever before. But most important in this deal, the fans win. Every game involving a Canadian team in the national exclusive windows, which will be Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, will be carried. No blackouts, no regionalization. In particular, on Saturday nights, all games will be carried across Canada at the same time, to the extent they're being played at the same time, and there will, for all coverage, be extensive pre- and post-game coverage. The fans also win because this is a multi-platform deal, taking advantage of the digital revolution and the evolution that we're seeing. It involves mobile, it involves streaming, it involves out-of-market, Game Center Live, and Center Ice will be sold by Rogers and marketed by Rogers. It will continue to be delivered and put together by New Lion, who does such a spectacular job for us now on the GCL package. So the guts of it won't change, but the marketing and distribution in Canada through Rogers will, and we think the fans will win with that. Fans will win also because there's new and more programming, shoulder programming to wrap around our games as well. It will bring people closer to the game than ever before, but on all these details, I'll leave them to Keith. This partnership, both its length and its magnitude, are evidence of the vibrancy of the game and the business of the game. We are delighted at the way Rogers handles all of its sports. Their production values are terrific, and as we know, they carry a wide variety of sports, all the majors, the Olympics, major junior hockey. They have the regional rights for the Canucks, the Flames, the Oilers, and the Sens. Hockey and all sports is in their blood, so we are completely comfortable and confident putting our game in their hands. And it's not our first experience being carried nationally by Sportsnet. We did it through 98 through 2002. Also as significant is this relationship will preserve 61 years of Hockey Night in Canada on the CBC. We all recognize the importance, the value, and the significance of Hockey Night in Canada on the CBC. And in that regard, Hubert, I'd like to thank you and Neil McEnany and Jeffrey Orridge as well for helping to put this all together. Okay, technology not so good? Well, we've got a long time to get that right. We also welcome a new friend in TVA. We thank Pierre-Carl Pelley, who's not with us today, and our sympathy to the Pelley family for the tragedy that the family lost a member over this weekend, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. But again, Robert, please send our best and our thanks, and to Pierre Dion as well. This deal is subject to the approval of the NHL Board of Governors. They were advised of its terms yesterday, and we look forward to moving forward with 12 great years of incredible coverage, distribution, promotion, and most important, fan connection to the NHL with Rogers. This is going to be fueled by fans. So again, it's great to be here, and we couldn't be more thrilled with this relationship. Thank you.
I didn't think anything could top when you brought the Jets back to Winnipeg, but this is a bit overkill, bud.
You're a little biased.
I am a little bit biased. One housekeeping note, whoever's on the wireless code 5739, can you please change channels? That way I won't have to hold on to this and we can move on. It was one of those days when the MLSE announcement was made, and the passion I saw out of Nadir was overflowing, and really spoke to how much passion that you have for this sport, for the National Hockey League, and I can't imagine what you're feeling today. Ladies and gentlemen, Nadir Mohamed.
Thank you, Darren. Good morning, everyone. What an incredible day for hockey in Canada. Today we announced a landmark agreement. It's a game changer for sports broadcasting. Today we announced a groundbreaking deal with the NHL, a deal that includes all national rights to all NHL games on all platforms in all languages. Gary, we're proud to be a partner with you and the whole team at the NHL. We're proud to bring more games, more content, and more in-depth coverage to hockey fans across the country. And we'll look forward to working with CBC and TVA to take the fan experience to the next level. Hubert and Robert, it's going to be great working with you guys. Today's deal builds on our incredible sports legacy, and it solidifies our position as Canada's #1 sports destination. Sports content is a strategic pillar for Rogers, and NHL hockey is the holy grail. We've been investing to build out our sports portfolio for some time. The Jays, MLSE, the Score, obviously now Sportsnet 360, the list goes on. And we've substantially built up the Sportsnet brand. 2 years ago, I said we wanted Sportsnet to be the #1 sports media brand in Canada. Today, we're positioned to do just that. There's no question Canadians are incredibly passionate about sports. And having moved to Canada in the early 70s, I remember watching Hockey Night in Canada with my dad, my sister, growing up. Those are some of the best memories from my childhood. It's what we all grew up with. Hockey brings us closer together as a family, as a country. It's our religion. This is the content that matters. Canadians want to watch hockey live, in person, on TV, on their mobile, on their wallet. They want to see their favorite players score the game-winning goal. They want to be a part of the excitement and drama. And we want to bring that experience to hockey fans wherever they are, from our world-class media properties to our best-in-class networks. We want to bring NHL hockey fans the best and most exciting hockey experience around. In closing, I would like to take an opportunity to thank our fantastic team who worked hard to get this deal done. There were a lot of long hours where we got it done. And I'd also like to acknowledge some of the Rogers folks in the room, including Alan Horn, Edward Rogers, and Phil Lind, who have been terrific and supportive of this deal. Game on. Thank you.
This is it's ironic because we broadcast so many games and so many different sports, and as a team, we don't get to enjoy those wins and losses. But today is very much a victory, one of the rare times where we get to stand up and we get to celebrate and we get to enjoy. Keith Pelley has done Olympics. He dabbled in that football thing with a Grey Cup. It's about time you get around to some hockey. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Pelley.
Thanks, Darren. This is definitely a day you kind of go on adrenaline, not sleep. It's a magical day, a transformational day for our industry and certainly for Rogers Communication. It's a game changer for the way Canadians will watch this great game of ours. It reminds me of Vancouver 2010, when we promised more coverage, more choice, and we were going to change the way Canadians experience the Olympics forever. We did that. And I'm here today to tell you we will deliver on that same commitment for our NHL coverage. Canadians will have more games, more content, more choice than they've ever had before. We'll focus on storytelling so fans will really get to know the stars of the games. There will be an emphasis on innovation. With Rogers, we'll leverage our first-to-market technology for enhanced production and viewing experiences. We'll create our own hockey production center of excellence to unify our NHL content, and it will be everywhere. Today, I'm incredibly proud to be a Rogers employee, one of the 30,000 in the Rogers family, and thrilled to be partners with Gary and John and Bill. And the key word, partners. We all want to grow the game at every level. And talking about partners, we're pleased to announce two exciting sub-licensing agreements. Fans will be able to continue to watch Saturday Night Hockey on CBC, while French language coverage will live on TVA. Hockey Night in Canada is an iconic brand, and it was important to us that it will continue. And that's the reason we chose CBC as a partner. As part of a multi-year deal, CBC will continue airing Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday nights, as well as the playoffs. But in addition, the Hockey Night in Canada brand will also live on Rogers channels and platforms every Saturday, including City and Sportsnet. And now I'd like to ask Hubert Lacroix, the President and CEO of CBC Radio Canada, to say a few words. Hubert?
Thank you. Thank you for the nice words. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Keith. We start by congratulating Edward, yourself, Nadir, Gary, on a spectacular partnership. Clearly a historic day. Hell of a way to celebrate a birthday. For over 60 years on Saturday nights, CBC has had a standing date with Canadians. We've connected with a broad and diverse audience, and I'm comforted that we will be able to see this connection live on. For hockey fans across the country, this partnership with Rogers allows us to do that, and we're very proud of that. The NHL, frankly, set very high standards, have very high financial expectations for these negotiations, and while we thought we brought something very special to broadcasting, CBC was not, candidly, in a position to spend taxpayers' money in this game of high stakes. Increasingly, in this modern era, CBC needs to seek and protect and promote its public service mandate through just this kind of partnership, Keith, where we can put our public broadcasting assets to work in a smart, fiscally responsible way. So, our new agreement with Rogers ensures that CBC carries 320 hours of primetime hockey, including, you've heard, regular season games, playoffs, and the Stanley Cup final for the next 4 years. Also allows us to continue our sports strategy that will ultimately allow us to connect with Canadians in a different number of ways. And one last word. Like you, Nadir, I grew up with Hockey Night in Canada. Watched it in French, lived in it in English also, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge all the remarkable work that our CBCers did to make sure that we could actually invest and create this brand for over 60 years that we will be happy now to share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hubert. We are also very excited about our long-term agreement with TVA, providing them with national coverage of all French language games. This makes TVA the official French language broadcaster of the NHL in Canada. Robert Despatie is the president and CEO of Quebecor and Quebecor Media and the CEO of Videotron. Wow, that's a lot of CEOs. You're a powerful man. He joins us here today, and I'd like him to share some thoughts. Robert?
Mr. Commissioner Bettman, Nadir, Keith, it's a great honor for TVA Sports and Québécois to be with you today as the future official French language broadcaster of the NHL in Canada, beginning with the 2014-2015 season. Nadir and Keith, I'm glad that we could come together and pull our strengths to bring both Sportsnet and TVA Sports to the next level. And Mr. Commissioner, again, thank you for putting your confidence in us. At Québécois, we are passionate about hockey, and our dream was to become the official French language broadcaster of the NHL in Canada. C'est un grand honneur pour moi et pour Québécois Média et TVA Sport de devenir le diffuseur francophone officiel de la Ligue nationale du hockey au Canada. Et nous souhaitons remercier nos partenaires de chez Rogers, le commissaire Bettman et la Ligue nationale de hockey pour leur confiance. When we launched TVA Sports a little over 2 years ago, we were determined to put out high-quality sports programming in a modern and distinctive format that could rival the best the industry had to be offered. And today, these efforts have borne fruit. TVA Sports has since launching in 2011 been broadcasting NHL games through its agreement with Ottawa Senators. Today, we are very excited to announce that we will be broadcasting a minimum of 22 regular season Montreal Canadiens games per season for years to come. As you know, the Montreal Canadiens are a storied franchise that is well ingrained into the hearts, the culture, and the history of Quebecers, and TVA Sports is proud to become a part of this tradition. In addition to the Montreal Canadiens regular season games, French language hockey fans would also be able to enjoy all playoff games, including those of the Montreal Canadiens and the Stanley Cup finals exclusively on TVA Sports. We also have the rights to broadcast all national games featuring Canadian teams, up to 160 games featuring American teams, as well as the All-Star Game, the Heritage Classic, and the NFL Draft and Awards. As you know, Québécois is a Quebec media, technology, and telecommunication leader with strong brands such as Videotron, TVA Network, Le Journal de Montréal, the 24 Hours, and Canoe. Because of our convergent strategy, I can guarantee you that all French language hockey fans will be able to benefit from the best possible multi-viewing experience. Mr. Bettman and our partners at Rogers, I once again want to say thank you for your confidence, and we are very excited and already looking forward to the 2014-2015 season. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, Robert. These are two very exciting partnerships that will help deliver the NHL to Canadians in a new way. At this time, I want to acknowledge two key Rogers colleagues that were instrumental in bringing this deal to fruition. Our CFO, Tony Staffieri, whose unwavering support was critical. And Scott Moore, our president of broadcasting, one of the most creative minds in the industry. Thank you both, gentlemen. Canadians are fiercely passionate about hockey and the NHL. It is a shared experience that is deeply entrenched in the fabric of our Canadian culture. And we look forward to a whole new experience to Canadians. It will be the NHL like never before. Thank you very much.